It's good to be back. Happy Sunday, everyone. I just got back from the United States, just returned. You know, I haven't been in the United States since 2017, man. Things haven't, I'm going to be offering a little bit of perspective or some of the things I saw living in Costa Rica versus living in Maine. So this is going to be like just going to be catching up video, offering a little perspective. Might even be talking about my mom a little bit because I know a lot of you guys have older loved ones, older mothers and fathers. See if you can relate to what I'm going to say about that. But I got a few things to say. I hope you hang out. But it's going to be a fun video. So get the coffee. Check this out. I just got it. My mom pointed it out at the store. She knows I do the coffee thing. This is, I don't know if you can tell, this is a huge cup of coffee. This was 3 heaping teaspoons just to make all this. Or maybe I just like it strong. I'm not sure. Now, I don't know if this cup's going to make it in the long run because it's not really my, how I'm Costa Rica, man. I love Maine, but come on. So get your coffee. I'm going to forgo the whole, you guys know we're a travel agency and all that, but I'm going to tell you about the relocation retreat real quick. It's coming up. It's not too late to sign up. If Costa Rica is on your radar, thinking about living here, but you're not quite sure, we've got a 6-7 day event, no blowing smoke, the good, the bad, the ugly about living here. You're going to meet a bunch of contacts that are great. But again, at the end of the event, you will absolutely know if Costa Rica is right for you or it's, honey, we're going to Belize. I would love to see you there, hang out with you guys, answer all your questions. The information is a link in this description. All right, first of all, remember, I don't know if you guys saw this, but last week I was in Maine and I made a video of what happened to me at the airport, meeting people, and those people that overstayed their time in Costa Rica. They were perpetual tourists. They overstayed by 4 months. Two out of the 3 people got caught, and they were told they can never come to Costa Rica again. I asked them a couple times to tell me what happens with the story. I haven't heard from them. Now, when I do this a lot with people, like I'll go, hey, write me and tell, how was that border crossing, or how was this, how was that? 20% they get back with me, 80%, they got a life and they got other things to do. So I totally understand. But if you guys are watching, you people that overstayed, please let me know what happened. People want to know, and it's very, very helpful to other people because with Costa Rica, you never really know what's going to happen, so it would be interesting to find out. Now, I will let you know if I hear anything. Oh, thank you so much. So first off, if you haven't seen that video, I'll also put a link in the description so you can kind of catch up. It was a kind of a fun video as well for Maine. Also, my mom loved all the well wishes. I read them all to her. There was a lot of comments on that video. And everyone said, have fun with your mom. Have fun hanging out with your mom. Oh, that's great. And so I read her all the comments. She was really stoked about that. And that was really nice. Guys, she's 86 years old. And her partner in crime, who she's been with for 39 years, is going to be 97. My mom is extremely healthy. She's healthy. And he was, took a couple bad falls some months ago. Physically, he's got that whole walker thing, the cane, in a little bit of a decline. And it's like, that condo's got some steps in it where they live that kind of go like this. And she tries to help him. But, I'm hoping I think the family's going to have to get together. And I'd rather be proactive about course of action instead of reactive before something happens. But, she always says, well, he took care of me. He took her everywhere, traveled around the world after my father. My father was, he had his good points, but he was also kind of a prick in some ways. But anyway, after they divorced, she got with this guy and they traveled the world. And she goes, he took care of me. I'm going to take care of him. But that fine line, he's in decline both physically and a little bit mentally, a little bit, that whole repeating things, 63 times in a 15-minute period. So it's like, where are we going to go with this? So anyway, but it was great hanging out and it's fun. They've done all the things they've ever wanted to do. So, and I just went there to hang out. I didn't go there to do anything touristy. So we just hung out. We sat in one room, then went to another room and sat there. So it was really fun hanging out. And I am going back, I think, in the end of September because I hadn't seen her. I hadn't been back to the United States since 2017, but I hadn't seen her since 2015. So I'm going to get up there again in a couple months. But anyway, thanks for all the nice comments you guys left on the video. It was really, really cool. She drives good too, man. We did go out to eat a few times, and she drives really good because I was paying attention. That this could be a danger. But no, she was on her game with the driving. So I was cool with that. Let me know your guys' experiences with maybe some of dealing with getting, your older folks, your older family members, what you've run into or how you've dealt with some things would probably be pretty helpful to me. And because that's where we're at right now. Or that's where I'm at, my family. So anyway, so I did get one thing super accomplished. And this was, anybody that's followed the videos or these videos for any length of time, I've talked about, D'Angelo and I have lost 2 bank accounts, the time we've been here that were in the States. One was from Bank of America and one was a bank called Key Bank in Maine. That's where I was. And we lost them both for the sole reason we lived in Costa Rica. So I haven't had a bank account. I do now. Got me a bank account, got the debit card. I got pretty excited about that. I've made videos about this. So anybody thinking about living in Costa Rica, maybe check out some of these videos. If you're going to live here, you want you and your wife or whoever you're with, maybe have a couple bank accounts, have your Venmo, have PayPal, have Charles Schwab, have whatever you need to get to so you can get your money to move around as easy as possible. Because if you don't, you definitely don't want to be in my situation. That's for sure. So have you guys been to Maine? Have you been to Maine? Do you know Maine? Most people know Maine by, don't they have lobster? Don't you go there in the fall? A lot of people haven't been there. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. And that was also interesting, guys. There was a lot of comments. Somebody was from Maine. Someone was from Old Orchard Beach area. There was like 4 or 5 people that commented and go, hey, I'm from Maine. So that was way cool. But Maine's a beautiful state. And what's interesting is the people there are so freaking nice. And they're nice in a way, how like the South is nice and polite. You can come into their house, they'll accept you, they'll feed you. But if they don't like you, they'll talk about you, when you leave. In Maine, they'll say it to your face in a nice way. You know what I mean? So I like that whole thing. They're very super nice, but they'll also, hey, they'll go back and forth with you. So that's fun. And they're fun there. They're great up there. Anyway, what else? Okay, a couple things I noticed when I was there. So we went out to eat a few times. Service. Oh my God. Now, guys, I don't want to bag on Costa Rica, but 9 times out of 10, the service sucks here. And I'm talking about in restaurants and bars. It just does because they work to live here, not live to work. So they a lot of times have a very nonchalant attitude about their service. Hey, I got your meal. What's your problem? Man, we went to 3 different places, not a lot, but man, were they on it, man. My coffee never got emptied. They're fun. They're like, where are you from? They're talking, they're moving, they're going like this. Left. Matter of fact, I was drinking so much coffee, the waitress goes, you drink a lot of coffee. She gave me a big cup to go and didn't even charge me, that kind of thing. It was so kind of nice to see that great service. And everywhere we went, one was like an Applebee's. There was a breakfast place and a breakfast place. But man, they were on their game. And that was fun. When you've had kind of shoddy service for 17 years, good service is fun, man. It was great to see that. Traffic. My mom lives in Windham, Maine, wherever, outside of Portsmouth. Portsmouth? Yeah. Not a super big town, but when you're not used to traffic, I just ride my bike. And I know there's traffic in Costa Rica. It's just not my life. I'm on a bike. I go by traffic. I go out when I want. Even when Fortuna gets a little crowd with tourists, the traffic really doesn't affect me. And I know, I'm being nitpicky, but just the traffic, being in traffic, I don't like it. I just don't like it. Anyway, but again, trust me, San Jose can have just as much or worse traffic than you have, but I don't go there either. So I'm not in San Jose much. But anyway, the traffic was like, wow, didn't miss this. So it was kind of like that. Went into Walmart a couple times, man. Walmart. Now, for those of you who know, we do have a Walmart here. Walmart's about an hour away, but it's nothing to the Walmart we went to. The one we have is pretty big, but this other one in Maine dwarfed it. Dwarfed it. And I mean, just never ending options. Never ending options. So we went in that Walmart and they were very distinctly different. But the thing about Walmart and just the traffic and everything was kind of the hustle and bustle of people zipping around, running around with their cars, just bing, 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 bing. Let's just say they have a way of life in Maine, but it's probably at least minimally 1 to 2 steps, up from the Pura Vida. They're worker bees there. They work hard there. They work hard. They're sturdy. They got great personality, but they're buzzing around. They're buzzing around. And again, nothing against that. It just reminds me of that hamster wheel that I left 17 years ago. So when you're not used to that and you see it, just everybody on task, zipping around in traffic and stores and, getting things going like this, it was like, there's just a distinct difference between Maine and Costa Rica in that case. Again, not that one's right or wrong. In my life, I've kind of done this for so long that hustle and bustle is almost, I don't know, a little bit stressful for me. Go over there, get this, let's do that. Not that laid back, let's walk around Walmart for 2 hours. I don't know. The other thing, and sorry about this, but yes, political. So now, remember, my mom is old, right? They're old. They don't do deep dives on news. And I would say a lot of people don't. I mean, I'm a news kind of junkie. I keep track of what's going on and all that. Now, most people, I think this would apply to most people have a life. They're busy. They're with their kids. They're doing stuff. They are zipping around, and they just don't have time to do deep dives on, let's say, what's going on in the world. So the news, which I watched with them, so they watch the local news and then they watch world news. That's pretty much it. And now you're talking to somebody, I haven't had a TV a long time. And when I look at the news, I get it on the internet from a lot of sources. And these sources a lot of times disagree. So I get a pretty big balance, I guess, of the news. Well, I can totally see why you people that live in the United States are so divided. Because people that just get their news because they have a life just get a very, very surfacey thing of the news. It's on for 20 minutes plus the commercials. Good Lord, dude. I mean, I know they can be on the internet, but at least you can, you can put an ad blocker or fast forward, or they only ask 5 seconds, like on this video. At least you can kind of click it or whatever. But man, the advertisement and almost everything was pharmaceutical. Now, again, I don't know. Is that just Maine? I don't know. But man, every other ad was VFib. Oh my God, VFib. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I got VFib. Do you suffer from VFib? Do you have this? Do you have that? Every commercial. And I'm like, who sees a commercial, then goes to their doctor and says, hey, I saw that commercial. I think I have that thing. I want to get that. Don't you go to the doctor because you have a problem and then they prescribe? So it's kind of weird. But anyway, don't miss the commercials. But it's just very surfacey news. It's kind of like looking out at water and they say, well, today it's very calm. Or, my gosh, it's really choppy today. Or the wind really picked up some waves. But they don't go under the water. They don't see an old wrecked car with a body in it. They don't see maybe a woman that threw her engagement ring in there, or the nice fish or the bad fish or the barrels full of oil down under the water. They just talk surface. You don't know anything about below. I can totally see why you guys are divided in the States. You do not, there's no balance at all. Zero. And again, I think most people consume their news by maybe one or two sources, especially older people, which is a big voting block. So, I mean, and again, my mom and I would never like get in a heated argument. We're just not those kind of people. I did say a couple things and we talked, but I'm not, you're not going to change that. And I wasn't trying to change that. I was just on a couple stories. They just had no idea of some of those stories really are about. Again, not going to get into that on one side or the other, but you can see how that whole divide and conquer thing that the government does in the United States obviously kind of works. It's why they never apologize for lying, because those people don't think they lied. They just know this one. I don't know. It's very saddening to watch that, because again, if that's how you get it and you try to, talk to people, even in a polite manner, Mike, you go down rabbit holes, Michael, you're conspiracy or whatever. No, I just research and I go in every avenue. But anyway, so that was a kind of a glowing thing. And since I ran into a lot of family members, came out and visited me, and, talking to other people, you zip it, because everyone's just got their tribe, So, and the difference between Costa Rica, really, they don't really chat about it here too much. I don't think they really care. Now they are also somewhat, let's say, not brainwashed, but they watch the news and they think that's what it is too. But the good thing about them here is they don't really talk about it. The people that talk about it here are gringos normally. They're the ones fighting about it. So anyway, just a few of those things. The little bit faster pace of the United States, traffic, and in Walmart, the news stuff. I don't know. It was fun. It was fun, and I was glad to be back. I can't wait to go again. Love the mom. But anyway, interesting, very interesting. But I can definitely see why there's a few of you that, not saying you want to come here, but I can see why you might want to leave there. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Allen, travelcostaricanow.com. Enjoy your Sunday. Man, I didn't even put a dent in this coffee. I wish you guys could see how big this cup really is. It's freaking huge. Anyway, guys, things are going to pop up. If you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, I'm going to put my videos up against anybody's. All right, man. Ciao.